Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, then my normal monthly reads, as I call them, I always premeditate on the cards. So I shuffle and select the cards prior to actually starting the readings, which then allows me to construct some little poetry words that I wrap up the end of the readings with, which is on this card here for you, Aries. So I'm just going to move that out the frame just for a while towards the end. The cards I'm using today, guys, is a combination of the Colette Baron Reid decks of the Good Tarot and the Wisdom of the House of Night. So you'll see a mixture of both of those cards there. And then at the end of the reading, I'll do a random pull of the Moon Goddess affirmation cards by the artist Terri Foss. So I've just read for Gemini, and just towards the end of it, guys, we had a power cut here. So I'm hoping there's no power cuts going to happen with your reading. So without further ado, then I'm going to start the reading for you, Aries. What I tend to do as well is I try and get two sides of the coin here. I sort of try and read on a romantic level on the one side, and then just a basic collective, you know, for a general reading on the other, so that hopefully when you listen to the reading you can take some elements out of it. And also be aware that although I'm reading for Aries, then I could be, you know, just reverse the roles of the characters. I could be speaking to an Aries directly, or I could be speaking to a cross-watcher who has an Aries energy within their, you know, family, friends, collective. So just, like I say, take it, you know, what you can and what doesn't fit in. So, as I say, it's not going to resonate for everyone, for the amount of people, you know, that click on these videos. So it's just a general reading all round. So without further ado then, Aries, I'm just going to go straight into the first element of the reading. And the first two cards that came out for you guys was the Two of Air and the Four of Air. And when I looked at these cards, I had a sense of spirituality around these two cards for you. It's as though you're going through life, you know, doing as we do, working, and everything else. Because when I looked at the Two of Air, I felt I was picking up with an Aries who's, you know, quite established, got quite a lot of strings to their bows, you know, quite multi-skilled, multifaceted. But I just feel I'm picking up with some Aries now who've had this calling. You know, I just feel this is a calling to you, spirituality-wise. It's like your spirituality side of you is starting to grow. Because when I look at the Four of Air, I just had all this spirituality energy filling up your headspace, and it's as though on the one side here, you know, just a normal stance, as I would say, your normal day to day, you know, where you go to work, you do your job of work with the skills and abilities that you've got. But I'm picking up with some of my Aries of late. You feel like you're growing, you're like being drawn to the spiritual side, and it's like you're sitting here contemplating now. It's like a calling to you. It's like you're sitting there thinking, I've got a you know, a real passionate calling here to start, you know, looking into this a little bit more. Now it could be where, you know, you've been quite spiritual yourself, you know, with your meditation, and you know, you might be doing yoga, or, you know, just practicing, you know, even reading tarot cards yourself. It's like you're tapping in, and you're realising you're tapping in to the divine spirit energy. And this is what I was feeling when I was reading this part of the reading for some of my lovely Aries. So yeah, it was, and then we had the understanding card here, because like I say, it's like this burning desire, and you're actually getting a realisation now that you are growing spiritually, and it's an acceptance, really. It's like a full acceptance. I feel that some of my Aries, it's like an awakening. That's what I want to say. It's like an actual awakening now. This is like a kundalini rising here, like something's been ignited in some of my Aries here to say that you know, that they're getting this full understanding now that there's more to this third dimension that we're in, that we're actually, you know, sort of educated and told about, you know, through our lifetime. Basically, the truth of, you know, the truth of our being here, the purpose of us being here on earth. You know, there's more to it than what we're originally programmed to believe, because I do feel we're programmed from children. I believe that the, you know, first 5 years of a child's life is what I call the innocent stage, our true innocent state of being, but our minds obviously haven't developed enough to harness our full strengths and abilities that we're actually born into this world with. And it's not until, you know, once a child starts school, then I call that the conditioning phase. You know, it's like we're born to then go into, you know, that system, because it is a system that they put us in, you know, to learn a skill that will then get us a job, to then pay into that tax industry, you know, to feed the government's money pot, as I call it. So, you know, you're giving your time, but you're just slaves, really. You're just a collective slave to the government, feeding, you know, your money, your hard-earned money, your time, what you give, you know, to feed the corporates, you know. So we're nothing but a slave to that. And this is it's a very never say that word, intricate, that's it. It's a very intricate system that we're all blinded to, but until we sort of realise as we get into our later life, that we realise, well, actually, there's more to this. And we get this awakening, and this is what I feel some of my Aries are actually going through, this cycle of a full awakening here. Yeah, they're doing the, you know, normal 9 to 5, 7 till 7, 10 till midnight, whatever shifts you're doing. But then there's this awakening. It's like the brakes have gone on, and it's like, actually, you know, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Giving all my time and all my energy to, you know, just pay into a system where really I should be, you know, I should be giving the time back to myself to allow my own abilities to grow. So that's what I was feeling as I was reading on this one side of the coin, guys. So with the Three of Fire then coming out with the Sun, the Three of Fire to me always, it's like a magical card, really. It's like our own magical inner system where, you know, it's like all the bells and whistles have gone off. And as I say, it's like this awakening that you've realised the direction now that you want to take and harness your skills and abilities. And I feel like it's something that you want to sort of follow with a passion. And you feel like you're being directed now. I feel like some of my Aries here, with the awakening that they've had here, you know, you're being guided, and you can actually feel, it's like you can sense the pull, you know, that you need to start to harness this now to actually grow. Because when we look at the Sun card, it's like treading the floorboards. There's like floorboards here, and it's like treading the floorboards for the first time, going out with your, you know, with your skills and abilities that you've naturally got. You know, we've all got skills and abilities. We've all got a purpose for being here. We've all got gifts, whether that's like we're artists, we're writers, you know, we've all got some kind of, like musicians, you know, the scale's immense, really. But it's about finding your true element, your true essence of yourself, and allowing the seeds of your inner abilities to grow. And that's what I feel some of my Aries are experiencing now, and it's allowing you to harness those natural abilities, and it's time for those to start growing, guys. So yeah, as I went along then, we've got the Rigid and the Three of Earth. Now I'm going to go with this card first, because how I look at this card is, in this scenario, if you can imagine that wall being the total picture, you know, filled there completely up to there, a full brick wall in front of you. And this is how I feel that some of my Aries have been going along normal life journey. You know, getting up every day, going to work, coming home, doing the normal stuff, then going to bed, getting up again, going to work. And this is like a rigid routine that, you know, the collective, you know, we do in our lives. But with some of the Aries out there, it's like they've actually, you know, seen a chink of light through this wall. They've seen the other side to reality, and it's like you've actually demolished. It's like you've demolished the false partition. That's what I want to say. It's like a false partition, guys, that you've been working behind, and you've actually thought, hang on a minute, there's more on the other side here. And it's like you've gone there, and it's like picking the bones of reality. Because when I see the bird and the crow, it's like you've been picking the bones of the actual reality, and realising that, you know, there's actually more that you can do, and there's all these skills and abilities that, you know, you're having your awakening to. And it's like you're seeing the light for the first time. You know, the grass is greener on the other side. You can actually see, you know, that, you know, with this wall being taken down now, this rigid structure that you've been following, that, you know, finally, yeah, you know, this is all making sense to me now. And with the Three of Earth, it's like you actually can, you know, because this wall now, this false partition is down. It's allowing your own spirituality. You actually see for the first time. You can actually see on the other side of that partition, and it's like a realization, a truth. You know, it's like the rose-tinted glasses have dropped off, and for the first time, it's like an awakening. As I say, you just can't quite believe it. It's like you're sitting here, just, you know, it's like this realisation of, you know, oh, I just cannot believe, like, you know, I've always had the feeling, but never had the realisation. And now, Aries, it's like you've had the realisation and this awakening that you can actually see. It's like seeing into your own future, because I feel having this awakening, this like Kundalini awakening within you, with your allowing the seeds of magic, as I call it, truly starting to guide you, because this is you now, and I feel like you're on your spiritual journey. Okay, so this is what I was feeling on this reading, guys. So now we've got the Two of Fire, okay, with the individuality. Right, so I'm going to talk about this one first, the Two of Fire. This just sort of reflects the normal, everyday thing that we do, going around the normal, mundane, going to work, doing our job, coming home, a bit of me time, and then going to bed, getting up and going around this. It's like this normal cycle of everything. But as I say, you know, you feel now that you're being guided, because here I just feel that you're being taken out. It's like when a building's on fire, okay, and it's, you know, the thing you need to do is get out of there. And I just feel that because of the awakening, you've realised you need to get out of the normal pattern, of society, and it's, to me, that might seem like a tall order, because like with a giraffe, you know, I always look at this card, it's like things can be a tall order, and it's like, to you, it's this contemplation of, yeah, I realise there's something more. Again, I'm going back to the partitioning wall here. It's like you've been hidden behind this part. You know, life's been, the true essence of life has been partitioned off from you, okay? So the fire's sort of swept along here. Here. This is like a spiritual fire within you that sort of burnt and made you see now. It's like making you see the way of where you need to be focusing, and this to be leading you out of. Okay, guys? So this is what I'm feeling here. So it's with the individuality card, it's like a realisation again. This is like all your inner skills and abilities are starting to shine, right? And this is what I feel here. It's like with the feathers here and the bird element, it's like knowledge, because I always like look at birds as having like the owl, like it's knowledgeable. This is like a bird of paradise. So to you, knocking this partition wall down and seeing, you know, that there is more to this planet, there's more to Earth, there's more to your skills and abilities and your purpose in life. It's like entering a completely new paradox to you, and it will allow you to start shining. So I'm just going to open this up a little bit more. We've got the Five of Fire and the King of Fire. So I'm going to go with the Five of Fire, because this is you, guys. This is you, and this is you over the last couple of months, where you've been having all these downloads. It's all this downloaded information that's been consuming your head, and it's like I say, with the wings behind it, and like the flower here and the butterfly. It's a transformation. It's a complete transformation for some of my Aries here. Spirituality, growth and awareness, and it's like you're tapping in now. It's like you're sitting there now, taking stock of everything that's been happening, because you've had, I feel like Aries have had some little things, some like little insights, some little sixth sense feelings, and they've actually manifested, you know, or you've sort of said something to somebody, you know, you need to be careful there because this is going to happen, and then they've come to you, you know, a week later and said, you know, you told me about that. You know what? It's actually happened, and then this is where, you know, you're thinking, you know, I've got to take stock of this now. This is you truly transforming spiritually, guys, and it's your awareness of it. Okay, so having the King of Fire, this is just saying again, it's all this spiritual awareness here, and growth within your head space of you know, engaging these downloads. And it's like meditation as well. You know, I think that some of my Arians out there gain a lot from meditation, or even dream states as well. You know, you've been having these downloads, guys, even to the point where some of you may have been writing down your dreams and then trying to interpret, you know, what is happening here. There's obviously something I'm feeling, and you are feeling it for definite, you know, that the change and the spiritual growth here. And it's a passion. It's just a burning passion now that's coming through, and it's ignited. And that's why I said with the card with the giraffe, if I can just grab hold of it again, if I can find it along here. It's like being ignited. That's why I say it's like you know, you've had to. It's sort of had your path burnt. It's like your passion's absolutely combusted into you, absolutely awareness that it's like a massive realisation, guys. That's what I want to say. It's quite exciting really when I'm reading this for you. I just feel the passion and the burning possibilities that you can actually start to, you know, you feel guided, and you've been pulled out, you know, you've been pulled out of this you know, so your burning ambitions can start to come into fruition. So yeah, the energy I'm feeling here, guys, it's great really. But so to end this part of the reading off, then it's got the meditation card, and it's like an acceptance here. It's like you're shaking hands with spirituality. It's like, you know, yeah, I'm shaking hands with spirituality here, an acceptance that you know, and like I said, through meditation you can get messages. So it's like embracing, actually having the, you know, it's like this card here, like a one arm's going up, and this, I feel like that's following up from there, and you're actually like meeting and shaking hands with the spirit side of things. Okay, so that's what I got on the one side there, guys, with this reading, and it was lovely, absolutely beautiful reading, I felt, and the energies that were flowing. So yeah, if any of you Aries out there, you know, are feeling this, and especially this partitioning wall that you've you know, and it's like an awakening to say, you know, oh wow, there's another side to this, there's more here. And it's like the first time that you've actually see it now. It's like seeing your own future. So yeah, guys, that was a truly lovely reading there on that sense of the, you know, on that side of the coin. Because as I say, I try and do two different elements here. So going on to the romantic side of things, I felt like my Aries, because I do feel there's a shift, guys, around the Arians. It's like there's like a lot of change. It's like a massive energy of change and shift, and even in the side of relationships, I do feel some of my Arians have got to a stage where they felt like they'd outgrown a relationship. And as much as, you know, you've been in this relationship with this person, there's like this, it was hard for you to understand why you were feeling like this. It was like there was nothing that they'd done wrong, basically, to you to make you angry, or you know, it was just that one, it's like a realisation again. It was like the one day you just woke up and just thought, you know what, this isn't serving me anymore. As much as I've got feelings for this person, it was just like, again, a pattern, the mundane pattern of getting up, going to work, they being there, you're doing, you know, and you was just in this pattern. And it was like there's a calling. I just feel some of my Arians out there have had this massive wake up calling that there's more for them to do. And in order to do that, then there's had to be a sacrifice, really. And on this occasion, even though it was hard for the other side, you know, the person that you was having in this relationship with, it was hard for them to obviously, you know, lose you, because they couldn't understand why, you know, you've had to break down the relationship. But it was just something that you felt, a gut feeling to get, you know, there's this, again, this awakening inside you, that there was this calling to you saying, I can't afford to have any ties, any attachments, because I need to find the truth. It's like you had to, you've gone out to find you, if that makes sense. It's like reevaluation of yourself. Okay, you sort of lost yourself, your own true worth, your own true purpose. And it's like, in order for you to understand why you're having all this deep inner, it's like an inner self, like I say, trying to find yourself, really. It's like one day, as I said, you woke up and just thought, what am I doing with my life? You know, I feel like I've stagnated. I feel like I've got this burning calling now. I need to be not here anymore. I need to be, it's like you feel like the universe is calling for you to take restock, you know, of everything in your life. So this is what I'm feeling here, guys. And this is, again, the all whistles and all bells blowing to say, you know, you really haven't got any idea of why you know, you've taken these actions, but you're just trusting the universe, because it's as like I said with the previous first part of the coin here, it's like it's this inner calling, it's like this inner gut feeling, and you're just allowing you know, a day at a time to unfold, and having faith that there's something there that you're supposed to be in search of, really. Okay, so with the sun, then the sun card for you on this side, and the Three of Earth, again, it's this spiritual calling, this awakening. And it's like you've had to, with the floorboards in your case here, like I said, it was like treading out on the floorboards for the first time. This one, it's like you've had to gut everything. And that's why I said, even to a relationship, it's like you've had to clear the decks. You wanted to clear the decks of all that doesn't serve you. And you need to, it's like you need to connect with your inner self to see where you need to be growing spiritually yourself as well. And you need to find some sense of direction, because as I say, there's this massive shift around it. I just think it's a massive shift of change around Aries at the minute. And some of my Aries out there, it's just that they couldn't see any further in how they were living at the present time. It's like, well, where am I going? I don't feel like I've got any focus. I can't. Yet I feel like I'm being called to do something. Okay, so it's more or less trying to get some clarity, and you're trusting on your own inner compass, your own direction here. That you can see something. Okay, you can't actually physically see it at the minute, but you know there's something there, right? Something there that's calling you. So with the Two of Fire, right? Well, actually, the Rigid it was, yeah, and the Two of Fire. Well, it doesn't matter. I'll just cover each card as they come out. But this was you again in a rigid pattern. Okay, again with a brick wall in front of you, and it was like, yeah, you was actually, some of you out there, guys, could have felt like you were hitting your head against a brick wall, and thinking, why so drastic? Why have I got to think that I've got to cut all ties? I don't want any relationship. I feel like I can't commit because I'm in this inner turmoil in trying to find who I am. Like you've lost your own direction. You've lost your own, focus. And so with the Two of Fire, it's like a bit of sadness, really, thinking. It's been like a bit of a tall order again, because I look at the giraffe as the saying of tall. It's a tall order, and it has been a tall order in cutting off a relationship with somebody who you did get on with, but you felt like there was no real purpose. It wasn't really manifesting to how you wanted it to, and you felt like it had just gone to a stalemate situation. That, like I say, you got on and you could have a laugh and a joke, but you felt like it came to more of a like they were a relation to you more than a partner. It was like they were more of a friend, and you just felt, even though you felt like this sadness, in having to part with the relationship. It's just that you've got to go with your gut feeling. And you're being guided elsewhere. So again, it's like you've knocked this partitioning wall down, because you need to knock the wall down, picking the bones again. Because I always see this card as like picking everything to the bones to try and find out, why this is happening. But again, I do feel it is the divine. It's a divine calling here, guys. So with the individuality card here and the Five of Fire. The Five of Fire again is just symbolising yourself. It's this information that's been downloaded to you, that's been consuming your headspace. Analysing. It's analysing what no longer serves you, and it's about transformation. And this is transformation of yourself. Okay, with the individuality, this is something that you've not taken on lightly. As I said, with the I feel like this is your partner now. This is the person that you're breaking away from, or you've left behind now with the relationship, because they couldn't quite understand. They couldn't quite understand why you've broken down the relationship with them. Okay, so. And I do feel that they will try and get some communication back with you, just to say more of a concern, really. They understand that you need to go and do whatever it is you need to do, but I do feel that they do want to keep a connection there on a friend's basis, which is fair enough. You're happy enough about that. I feel there's no love lost as such, but there's still a connection. I feel there'll still be a connection here. But they just want your happiness as much as, they understand that you've got this calling. They understand that you need to go and find your inner you, okay? But it's just to say that they still want that connection. You know, that connection will still be there, but they are allowing you to be guided and follow your own instinct, your own individuality, okay? So then with the King of Fire, this is you, really. This is you just addressing to them, look, you know, it's just saying, you know, it's just me, okay? There's nothing at fault with you. Don't take it to heart, really. Don't take it to heart. It's just about me. I've got to spiritually grow myself. I've got to make myself, it's like having the knowledge and awareness, and just say you feel like it's this calling. And they've accepted this. There's an acceptance there, because I do feel on the other side with them, it's a realisation with them that you both have to grow as people. So by you know, splitting up with at the end of the day, I felt like it was an amicable agreement. You both realised you got to a sort of a stalemate where, yeah, you know, you got on with each other, but again, they felt like it was like living with a relation, you know, more so than a lover, or just living with a close friend. So I do think there's like two sides of the element here, both agreeing that the relationship had to come to an end for you to both grow spiritually, if that makes sense. So, you know, there'll be a friendship link there. I do feel like obviously you'll still keep ties, but there's respect on both sides, guys. There's respect on both sides. There's respect on both sides for you to allow to continue your own journey here of what's calling you. So with the meditation card here, it's just a symbol of a parting of a relationship, okay? It's like the close hands here, just, you know, parting, releasing, but still connected, if that makes sense. So it's just an understanding between you two here that, yeah, there's a bond. There'll always be a bond there, okay? As you go on to find your next stage, your next chapter in life, there'll be that connection. But it's just to say that with the lotus flowers here, it's about both of you, because we've got two lotus flowers here in this card, okay? And it's about like you've had to break away to allow both of you to spiritually grow, both of you to follow whatever's calling you now. But I do feel, Aries, you were the main instigator in sort of like bringing this to their attention, just saying, you know, I do care about you. You know what I mean? This is not done. I haven't done this, you know, just off the cuff type of thing. You know, I've had a lot of thought about this, and you've sat down together and you've discussed, you know, what you want to do, and then they've obviously opened up to you and said, well, yeah, I understand, you know, and I do feel that they've sort of had that kind of vibe and feeling as well. So it's been an amicable parting, okay, but there's the connection still there, guys. That's what I want to say. So you will still be keeping in touch with one another of how your lives are going, especially at the start. But yeah, that's what I'll get there, guys, on the two sides of the coin there. So I hope, my Aries, you can take something from those readings. But what I'm going to do now is just do the affirmation pull here from the cards from Terri Foss. So I'll just give these a quick shuffle and just see what we've got there. But it was just, the whole reading, guys, was just this energy, this spiritual energy and awakening and calling, and it's about my Aries with this like just having a massive awakening, really, and it's just about following your gut feelings on both sides. So yeah, it was quite a positive, although like there was the relationship side of the parting, but it was an amicable agreement, really. So yeah, let's just have a look what we've got here then. So I'm going to take that one there and have a look what this says. And we've got, I already know the answers. So when I look at this, it's about the phases of our life, okay? And as I mentioned, on both sides really, it's like you've gone through the normal process, like on the first one with the awakening spiritually, with the knowing there's more to what's waiting for you. It's about this awakening spiritually, that there's more for you to achieve, okay? And it's a phase now. It's like you're going through a cycle here, and it's just like you've had the light, like the darkness that you were in, like on the one with the relationship split. You know, it's like finding yourself, okay? It's like finding yourself, and you're shining your own light now. It's like shining your own light to a new cycle, okay? On both sides really. It's like this card here, I already know the answers. It's like to say to yourself, I'm listening to my inner voice, okay, my inner compass, because I know the answers really. I know that I've had to stop this relationship for me to continue on my journey. I already know the answers, that I've got this spiritual awakeness that's now knocked this partitioning wall down that I've been behind. And I know the answers to the fact that there is more out there. You know, I have to follow my gut feeling. And it's just seeing, it's like the universe is opening up to you, okay? It's like the universe is completely opening up to you, and you're following your own inner light, and by doing that it allows new phases, new dreams and wishes to come into fruition. It's like and with the flowers in the bottles here, it's like your own spiritual growth again, okay? And with the skull, that always symbolises to me, we have to allow some things to die in our life for new things to grow, okay? So we have to, as I said, we have to go through life and clear out what doesn't serve us anymore, things that that we just are not serving us, and then we have to just clear them out for us to allow for us to go forward. So that's what I feel there with that. I already know the answers, because you do, and that's why you're taking the actions as you are. So that's what I want to tie up with that. Now I'm going to read you my few words here that I had when I was meditating on the cards previously. So for you, Aries, I had: follow your heart for your own ambition, be that in love, work or play. Listen to your inner voice, your inner compass that will show you the way, guiding you to an inner calling, leading you to the path of fate. So go and chase every opportunity, no more time to sit and wait. And you've realised that because you have been sort of sitting and waiting and contemplating and digesting and really getting to the nitty-gritty of things, because things have come to the surface, guys, on both sides, with the calling of the spirituality side of things, and the inner self, finding your inner self, finding your purpose in life. So yeah, that's what I got there for you. And just to tie up the reading this month, because I like to try and do different things, because I did the ribbons, didn't I, for September, the ribbon reads. And this month I've got some little charms here. There's loads of little charms in this bag, and I thought it would be nice to do like a charm at the end, just to see where that fits in with the reading, guys. So let's have a little rummage around and just see what comes out for you. And we've got a horseshoe here, okay, and it's got obviously the words of good luck here, but to me the horseshoe symbolises a game. It's like you're on a completion of a cycle here. If I look at the horseshoe, it's like there's a little section here missing, okay? And this little section here missing is the bit that's calling you now. This is the spirituality bit missing here. Like, I always see this as a sort of a path of life, really. And we go round on the path of life, you know, going through the different stages. Because when there's when the farrier puts a new shoe on a horse, obviously he nails it, doesn't he, as he goes around with the little nails here. But to me, it's like the little nails are the stages of our life, you know, from when we're born to when we go to school and we get a job, and we go around all this pathway, okay? But there's always this little bit missing, okay? This is like, to me, it's like your past, your present, and then your future. And this bit here is your future of what you can't see, to you know, the full completion. So to me, it's like you're on the journey now of trying to find your future, your purpose, to give you that inner full completion, guys. And that's what I feel there with the horseshoe. I always look at that as like there's a piece missing, and I always look at it as like the stages, the past, the present, and then going round to the future. So yeah, but that's what I feel there. So I hope, guys, you can take something away with you today from this reading. And as I said at the start, if it's not, I'm not, you know, directly talking to an Aries, it could be the Aries energy that is around you within a family or a friend situation. So yeah, I hope you have a wonderful October, my lovely Arians, and I'll look forward to reading to you on my next read. So take care of yourselves till then. Bye.